Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. If you run a business, listen up. If you need a first-class security system, does your office need an AV system in your conference room? What about fire safety systems, key cards, new age automation? Call J.J. Surlis, VFL J.J. Surlis. Safety Systems, they can do it all. They've been doing it for more than 20 years. It's a great company. I have them out to my house probably once a year at least, and it's always spectacular work. Great group of people. Safety Systems. All right, let's take a look at the next five on our list here. We got P.J. Fleck from Minnesota. You look at just the records where he fits my builder. He's a proven builder. Built Western Michigan in 4 years, built Minnesota in 3 years, went 3-4 this year. But he's done good work at a couple of places, vetted by a Parker executive already. But would he fit at Tennessee?
He's a guy that's going to remind people too much of Butch Jones. And people make fun of the row the boat thing. That's a personal slogan that he used to get through the death of his son when he was an infant. It's not sort of an empty sort of words. He's a really intense guy, but I think fans would remind him too much of Butch Jones, and I'm not sure that is something that's going to play well in Tennessee.
I think you got real problems at Tennessee already that you've narrowed your focus so much for years. You got to have South. You got to be Southern. You got to have SEC ties. Great recruiter. Tennessee ties. Oh, and you can't use slogans. And you got to have blonde hair. And your name has to start with a W. At some point, look, if Nick Saban talked with slogans, hire Nick Saban. Who cares? The record looks better than the slogans. But you're right. I think you'd have people that would go, hey, Butch Jones.
Yeah, well, you're not going to make anybody happy in this choice. I mean, that's the one thing
Probably
we do
not.
know. I mean, that's the one thing we all should know. There's going to be a large base of loud people that do not like whoever we hire.
All right, Hugh Freeze. I talked about it earlier. I don't think there's any chance on God's green earth they're going after Hugh Freeze.
Wasn't that made clear on Monday?
Yeah, it's done.
That they're not going to go in that direction?
I wonder if they scared anybody off by talking so much about how much we're going to do it clean and we're going to be in the Integrity University. I wonder if there are any coaches who are going, wait a second, you mean I can't even get in the gray areas?
Yeah.
No SEC ties.
Do you not know how college football actually works?
Yeah, I understand you don't want us swimming in the deep end of the pool, but can't we wade a little bit? All right, Tom Herman, fired by Texas. Supposedly, he's big offense, had a great name 4 years ago, and it's not like he drove Texas off the end of the cliff. He got fired mainly because of relationships, it seems, because record wasn't that bad. They wanted more, but that would be an interesting hire. The question is, did he learn any lessons at Texas?
Yeah, I think if you want to coach with interpersonal issues, that you just got rid of one, you're going to bring Tom Herman. It's some very similar situations.
Okay, that's an issue then.
Yeah, but you did have a pretty good success when Texas got rid of one of their coaches in the past of pulling him over here and saying, hey, we want you to build a program. So I would check on those things. I would vet those things, but I would also have a conversation with him.
Jimmy, any thoughts on Tom Herman?
Yeah, I would too. I would certainly, to me, he would be on my short list.
Yeah, if you can work around the issues he had there and you find out that something was not all him. I like the idea he's already run a big program. He should know what the landmines are, and know how to avoid them. Question is, he's just going to stomp them again. Josh Heupel, he's on there because Danny White hired him at UCF. He's been there 3 years. His record's actually gotten a little worse each of the 3 years. I don't see this one.
No,
I don't either.
Okay, and then the last one, Lane Kiffin.
Oh.
This is incredible to me. When he left here, everybody said that I was in love with him because I was saying the reaction was over the top. We look stupid with the death threats, with the burning mattresses, with naming a sewage treatment plant after him. Remember that? Gun place was going to have his face put on targets. And everybody said, you love him simply because I said this looks bad. Now I'm saying, boy, I wouldn't hire this guy. And people say, you've always hated him. I'm just standing here as people orbit around me. I've not changed my view at all. Would he ever be my guy that I would hire? I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And anybody who says he's grown up, well, if he leaves Ole Miss after 1 year, that kind of undercuts the whole he's grown up thing. But by golly, there are people in 2017 when they opened up John Curry's emails and texts and everything, and they counted all the number of people that had emailed and said hire him. Lane Kiffin had more people emailing about him than any other coach
People's
out there.
champion.
People want Lane Kiffin back.
He's a really good offensive mind. He is a really good play caller. I'm not sure he's a really good head coach.
I will give you the line. As a dog returns to its vomit, so does a fool repeat its folly. If we hire Lane Kiffin, then expect what you get, because it's just been repeated over and over again. I don't know how too many business guys out there that would say, the employee that left me high and dry, burned every bridge, and I had disasters rehiring him afterwards, that when this guy comes back to me and wants the job, I rehired him and I had a good experience. I don't see that story playing out or being a good story with a good ending.
Somebody tweeted me this week and said, he reminds me of my ex-wife. She cheated on me once. I was dumb enough to take her back. She cheated on me again. I want no part of Lane Kiffin coming back. I would just look at this. For all the genius that's thrown about this guy, he was 7-6 at Tennessee, goes to USC. They had sanctions. He gets fired on the tarmac of an airport midway through the season. What happened to that team as soon as he was fired? Ed Ogeron took over, and it changed.
I think they were 6-2.
It was a much better team when Ed Ogeron coached it. I would make note of that, but that's just because I hate Lane Kiffin.
I think he's risky, but also the one thing I know is he's the best coach that Tennessee has had since Philip Fulmer.
It's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
You're trying to improve. He can help you do that. It's risky. I don't disagree with anything you guys said, but if you want to score some points and win some ball games, I'm not sure if you're going to win a national title. But he's going to win some ball
Or
games.
the guy that wants to write a lot of articles, really.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Fair point. Guilty.
From a TV producer standpoint, I would love it. All right. When we come back, what happens with Kevin Steele? We got 4 other candidates to discuss. Come on back on the Sports Source.